It is clear from what the judge has now decided that the Constitution does not intend to disqualify anybody because you have just the fact of a contract with the government of Belize. The Constitution intends to capture a limited class of contract. Therefore, this contract, as the judge has indicated, does not fall within the scope of that constitutional disqualification. It will be only a contract which has the effect of putting a person directly into a contractual relationship with the civil service of the country that would be captured by the constitutional disqualification. As you would appreciate, and I heard somebody ask the question a number of times about the fact that there does exist a contract, as it were, the question has been, how can it be that such a contract is not caught? Well, the reality is that the constitutional provision allows you to have any contract whatsoever, including with the civil service, as long as beforehand you publish a notice in the media saying that that contract exists. So there is nothing wrong with having a contract. The problem is, or the requirement is, you must disclose it in advance. And it is only those contracts which are caught by the constitutional provision which need to be disclosed. Therefore, a contract to build a building, a contract to provide security services, a contract to create a sculpture, none of these things would be caught by the constitutional disqualification. And to my mind, that makes manifest, obvious, good sense.
So then what, in your view, is the purpose of 58(1)H?
As the Chief Justice indicated, in the colonial constitution there was a provision which disqualified public officers. They took that out, as the Chief Justice mentioned, in the Independence Constitution. So it seems that they left in this contractor provision to capture public officers, and part of our submission was there is not any other law in Belize which disqualifies a civil servant from running and from being elected to office in the National Assembly. No other law. So even the civil service regulations prohibit a person, prohibit a public officer from running for office. But if he runs and is not fired before the election and he gets elected, he is not disqualified by having been a public officer at the time. A public officer can in fact run, except for this particular provision. I think a public officer would be caught by this particular provision. To my mind, that is it. But more importantly, Adele, as the history of the thing indicates, this law has always been regarded as obscure. It has been described as obscure. It has been described as having ridiculous results in England, and yet we still have the vestiges of it. So that's where we are.